Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Couple of announcements. I'm going to be starting a new series on our podcast here, free access on new frameworks that you've never heard before. And where this is coming from is during our last webinar, next last training on how to cut back to part-time hours at your full-time job. There were a lot of questions of how can you possibly come up with new frameworks? And it realized we're going to put them on the podcast so you can have an idea, but absolutely, probably in our program, come up with at least 10 to 20 frameworks a week. We come up with them through all the coaching we do through group and private coaching. So I'm going to be bringing him here, and they're going to be very short podcasts. My goal is to keep them under 10 minutes. This first one where I'm introducing it may be a little bit longer, but the goal is short little bits where you'll leave each podcast with a framework that I developed for myself or from a private client that led to a massive breakthrough or win. You ready for it? Yeah. And if you love seeing, if you like more of like the video, the podcast here clearly is on video, but if you like the interactive of what it looks like on the video, the live recording, I'm going to be posting, I'm going to experiment with and see how you guys like it, putting this on YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel, Christina Arnold on YouTube, and you can look at the video of this as we go. And on there, yeah, we can see each other. It's gonna be so much fun. All right. So today's podcast, our first framework that you're gonna learn about is really based on the example is I'm going back to college, folks, and I am so excited. And it's just what I just sounded like. So and then I'm gonna teach you a technique for manifesting is the framework. And manifesting is like using your mind to create really powerful things you might not have been able to create otherwise. This is just such a great example. I have since, okay, so I went to college, Barnard College. It's a women's college in New York City. I had the most amazing experience. I grew up in Texas and all my friends went to UT or A&M. And I was like, I want to go somewhere where I'm not going to see people from high school who haven't seen me since elementary school. I want to go somewhere totally new with tons of opportunities. I don't know what I want to do. So if I want to go into finance or teaching or nursing or medical, I want to go somewhere where everything is there. And New York City just really has it all. I was very drawn to New York City. And I was a biology major, turned out. And I took as few science classes as possible, like as few biology class. I did the bare minimum. I was like, what do I have to do? I'm not doing one thing more. And I flushed out my liberal arts education with as many art classes as possible. And my very, very favorite class was Women in Cinema through the ages. And what was great is we looked at the first silent film before women even spoke on camera. We watched those silent films and we studied the socio-political context about what it was like to be a woman in those days. And all the way through, like I remember one of what stuck out to me, I don't know if it was the most recent film. We also watched Carrie, which is also has huge, powerful socio-political commentary. We would watch the films together and we would come together, discuss the films, we write essays on them. And I just have to say, it was my best. And I talk about it fondly all of the time. I don't know if you know about the Nielsen's, but I'm on the Nielsen's. So when you hear people say the Nielsen's report said, it's a group of people who um, contribute their commentary on TV and it gets recorded and it helps influence how the TV works. It's incredible. I tell you. I love watching, studying all things film and cinema, TV. So, flash forward, I've always reminisced about it. Flash forward in New York, I took my daughter to New York Fashion Week. My daughter was in New York Fashion Week, and we did a tour of Barnard College. And a lot of it was the same. And it was just my daughter even said, if I had known about this college when I applied, I think I'd have applied here. It was so impressive. Just so many of the world's leaders have come from this women's college. And you walk on campus, the energy of all of these strong women leaders who are they're supporting each other, who are there for them, and they're advancing their interests. It's just so powerful. And it reawakened. We walked through the building where I went to this film class. It just re-sparked like all this energy I had around it. And meanwhile, helping my daughter go to college, we're looking at all the classes she can take. And they're just incredible classes. They're just this, it just rewoke this part of me that was like, remember when we used to learn just for learning's sake? It wasn't tied to CME, it wasn't tied to reading papers, it wasn't tied to advancing like medicine. It was just tied to learn just for the sake of learning, just for creativity. was kind of coming up around this time. And wouldn't you know, I was on LinkedIn and I saw a post from my college. They are bringing back courses for alumni. Some of them are in person. One of them is over Zoom. And would you not know that that one class over Zoom is about New York City and cinema over the ages? I saw that and I just about like had a heart attack. I immediately texted my family I'm going back to college, which I'll say freaked my husband out quite a bit. He's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have 3 people in college at once." No, no, no. By the way, I'm paying for it on my own, but and it's $500 to take this one class. So it's incredibly the value is incredible. And yeah, so I signed up. Now I went back, or I have signed up and now in the class, but I saw this a couple of weeks ago and I was just very busy with work activities. I didn't get. I went back, I could not find it. Went to Barnard's page, couldn't find it. But I had texted to my family and that text was still there. So I just signed up yesterday and I am more than excited. And it's going to walk through early New York City. It's like New York City as a character. Early New York City, the Jewish experience in New York City, gangster New York City, and then film noir, which is a way to learn about society and people and history through film, which is just amazing. So what happened is I actually manifested it. So if you're here for the framework, here's the framework. The first step is to be connected with yourself that you know what makes you feel alive. Where is your body giving you, where is your mind giving you ideas of what you really want to do? That feels like you have fireworks in your belly. You're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is amazing. It was just for me. Are you connected enough to your body where you can listen to that? I work with a lot of women who come to me and they're so disconnected from their body because medicine it's a hard job that they're like, I don't even know what I want. So where we start is listen to your body. What is it telling you want to do? Maybe it wants you to have orange juice. Like listen on the daily level and it'll start sending you bigger and bigger vibrations and it'll send you bigger and bigger messages of what you really want, what would make this life a fantastic life. So step one is be connected to your body so you hear that little voice. My little voice comes to me. Some people will tell me it's in the shower, it's when they're driving. For me, it's right before I wake up. The idea is when our conscious mind is distracted with the shower or the driving or it's not quite awake yet early in the morning, that's when your subconscious, your intuition comes in and starts leaving you little love notes, starts telling you something. My voice, I recognize it now. I've practiced and skilled enough and listened to it. It's a very, very soft voice. It's so soft that if my brain is supercharging on the to-do list, what I need to do, who I need help, what needs to be done, I'm not going to hear the intuition. And so my job is to create our job, step one is create this connection with your intuition, with your whatever you want to call it, with your body, with your higher self, with your God, whatever it is, to connect opportunities for that. So I like to, before I get out of bed, is to keep my eyes closed and just listen. Right before I go to sleep for a night, do the same thing. I just lay in bed, I close my eyes, and I just listen. I'm not thinking, I'm just listening. And I get the most powerful, most beautiful ideas come in that space. So step one is be very connected to yourself, whatever that looks like. And if you join our program, I'll show you how to customize, connect with your intuition for your exact person, body, mind, soul, house job. Step two is then go out and look for those opportunities. Like I have been saying out my mouth how much I love this class that I took 25 years ago. I've been saying it over and over again, but I hadn't been looking for it. And so I started with intention looking when I was looking in the world, like, where could I find this class? And there it was. It was screaming at me. Everyone from Barnard College, we're offering you classes and it's going to be about New York City and film. Like, hello. So one is be connected to your body so you can hear what you want. Two is look for those opportunities. Three is create those opportunities. I, the a concept of manifestation, which there's a lot of science behind it. This is not just woo, I'm making all this up. There's lots of science if you want to explore it, is when our mind has an intention for something, it will it will create those opportunities. And some people, I think there's a misconception with manifestation or magnetism or drawing opportunities into you with your mind. Some people think, oh, if I think about I want it, then it's going to come. If I think I want to get married, then the marriage will happen. If I think I want to have a baby, then baby will happen. It's not enough, folks, to think about it. We have to have the idea. Look for opportunities and create it. The universe has no idea what to give to us, right? If we're constantly thinking about work, the universe is going to be like, okay, she's really interested in work. Let me send her more work. So we have to start sending out messages. We just have to start connecting with our body. We have to start looking for intention. We have to start creating the things we want. Manifestation is one way to do that. So, step one is connected to your body, listen to the intuition. Step two is look for the opportunities. Step three is create the opportunities. All of that together starts bringing together this really specific, customized, beautiful experience for you on this planet. Now, of course, in Next Level Freedom, we have our signature decision and negotiation framework. That is like the how-to of how do we walk into our job and customize, craft it for what we want. Of course, that is definitely a large part of what we do in Next Level Freedom. But don't forget this manifestation framework. It's the stuff that doesn't require muscle, doesn't require pushing or force. It's the idea of attracting what you want to you without force. It's beautiful. And if you want to know more, make sure you join us inside of Next Level Freedom. Doors are closed now, but join the email list. Go to yourpathandfocus.com/email. Get on the email list so you'll have more the podcast delivered to you, these YouTube modules delivered directly to you. You will know when the doors open. You'll get all kinds of new frameworks every week. And we have a Black Friday special coming up. Your people wait for it all year long. Go to the email list. You'll be the first to see it. You'll have the first chance to grab it. It's yourpathandfocus.com/email. Yourpathandfocus.com/email. See you next time. Bye.